And there comes the music. That is what we call smooth production here for the Love Chevy Drive around the SEC. We haven't talked a lot of football here lately, right? I mean, we've talked about Gamecock spring practice somewhat. We're going to get more into that. I was listening to you guys talk about Nick Harbor a bit yesterday with my toes in the sand, mind you. But let's talk a little NFL draft. We are 1 month away from the NFL draft. So if I were to ask you guys, you very wise football savants, of the top 50 players projected to go, and I'm going on Matt Miller here. I think Matt Miller does as good a job as anybody. We know about Mel Kiper, and Todd McShay there was on the mothership for quite a bit of time back in the day. But if I were to ask you how many from the SEC, and I'm going to include Texas and Oklahoma because they're basically in the SEC now, how many of the top 50 players drafted are projected to be from the Southeastern Conference? Jamie, I'll start with you. Closest to the pin.
How many? I missed part of the question. Sorry, I can't.
Battling some pollen. You got some.
No, I caught some sickness yesterday. This sucks. But anyway,
right.
I missed part of the. I heard part of it.
Yeah. How many of the top 50 players expected to go? This is according to Matt Miller, although a lot of people
15, right?
Top 50. How many of the
50?
Top 50, 50,
okay. Good
or
thing
50, as the kids like to say. How many of the top 50 will be selected from SEC schools, including Texas and Oklahoma?
Probably close to 40%. Hey,
So that would be about 20.
I'm gonna go with 18. Let's go with
18. 18. Mad Dog Phil, what are you thinking over there?
Give me 27.
27. Ambitious.
That's a big number.
Sherb Nation donning a sweatshirt because he's in a really cold climate in the Midwest.
Yeah, on opening day for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's not too late to move, JC. We'll welcome you back here in the South.
Yeah, we'd love it. Do it.
No, talk to me about that, guys.
Yeah,
Especially
I know.
in the spring. There's no spring here.
Yeah,
None. It won't get warm till May now. I'm gonna go with like 22 double deuce. How about that? Somewhere kind of in the middle of Phil and
JC is closest to the pin. It's 21.
Wow.
I was gonna say
21.
I deducted. I'll stick with my 40%. JC and I. Can I share that with you? Can I share the title?
JB wins on Price is Right rules.
That's true.
Yeah, Price
We don't
is
go
Right
over.
rules
I
you
said
do
closest
win.
to the pin. I didn't go overbidding the situation.
Come on down.
This game sucks.
Okay,
Spin
so
the
we
wheel, Jamie. A new car.
They talked about this on JC and Morgan. No, I'm kidding.
I cheated.
So who are these chaps? Well, Matt Miller, who again I think does outstanding work. He just signed on with ESPN a couple of years ago. I used to follow him before that when he was kind of doing an independent deal with this. He's got Jaden Daniels going to Washington. Malik Neighbors has been skyrocketing. He's got him number 6, a wide receiver at LSU, going to the Giants. Dallas Turner. This is like the most consensus pick. If you were going to Vegas and you wanted to bet on the surefire, other than Caleb Williams, number 1 to the Bears, the surefire top 10 pick that everybody thinks is going to happen, especially now that Kirk Cousins has signed with Atlanta. They all think Dallas Turner, rush end out of Alabama, goes 8 to the Falcons. Brock Bowers, number 10 to the Jets. Brian Thomas, another LSU wide receiver, to Arizona at 12. And it goes down the list and down the list. He has got, Mike, what about Xavier Legette? 33 to the Carolina Panthers, first pick of the second round. So he would join Jadeveon Clowney, who just signed with the Carolina Panthers. For an organization that has done nothing to reach out to the state of South Carolina, maybe they could just keep bringing in former Gamecock players and try and bridge that gap. What else we got here? Okay, so you'll recognize some other names. Remember Ricky Pearsall? Receiver that torched 49 to the Bengals. So he's got him in the second round.
Mike? What did he torch? Who'd he torch?
He torched a 6'4" guy that never should have been covering a man-to-man. So Spencer Rattler, he's got Spencer Rattler going pick number 103 to the New England Patriots, which would be in the fourth round.
Fourth round.
Top of the fourth round. Yeah.
That's not a. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's now their starting quarterback.
Yeah, no, I mean, they desperately need a quarterback. Now, the thinking is New England might take a quarterback at 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be good for Spencer or not. But as we've talked about on this show before, if you're not going to go first round and kind of get the big signing bonus money, your money's coming on that second contract. I think would be best for Spencer Rattler is to go to a good team without a good quarterback.
Right.
Forget about what round it is. Second round, fourth round, fifth round, third, whatever. That's what you want. If that's the calculus, the perfect calculus for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lloyd, former Gamecock back, they've got him going pick 107 to the Giants in the 4th round. Remember Cody Schrader?
Yeah.
He led the SEC in rushing. They've got him going in the 6th round, pick number 200. Again, he's a former walk-on D2 transfer. He's not that fast. He's not that big. He just dominated. 6th round pick for a guy that led the SEC in rushing. I thought that was interesting. And one other Gamecock he has going in the 7th round. You guys want to predict who that would be?
I guess Trey Knox or Marcellus Dow.
Trey Knox it is. 7th round, pick number 252 to the Kansas City Chiefs.
We need to get him bumped back to Mr. Irrelevant. That would be the 3rd Mr. Irrelevant in South Carolina history.
Yes.
And the 2nd to go to the Chiefs because Suckup was Chiefs' original pick.
Boy, did they get their money's worth out of that pick.
Brian and then Justice Cunningham, right? Wasn't Justice Cunningham Mr.
Justice
Irrelevant?
was Mr. Irrelevant. It actually made a roster with the Colts for a year, special teams player, and then Suckup ended up kicking for the Bucks during pandemic year where they won it all with Brady. And had a great Ryan Suckup had a great. I remember when they people don't realize this because Suckup came in under Spurrier, but Holtz got him to commit. And they said Holtz is, a visit. I tell you, you're the best place kicker I've ever seen in my life. You're better than Reggie Ho. Anybody remember Reggie Ho? I like Reggie.
Like he was there for 9 years.
Those people we had at Notre Dame. You're outstanding.
Was he at a Hickory, North Carolina? Where was he
North
at?
Carolina.
It was Hickory? Okay.
Hickory High School, Hickory, North Carolina.
It's the same hometown as Rick Barnes.
And Brad Lawing as well. So.
And Brad Lawing. Speaking of which, as we turn to basketball, 2 SEC teams left tonight at 9:39 tip. Bama taking on UNC. The Tar Heels are in a 4.5-point favorite. And then on Friday at 10:09 Eastern time, for insomniacs like myself, Tennessee taking on the Creighton Blue Jays. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. Still my pick as the one SEC team to make it to the Final Four. Any thoughts on those 2 matchups, fellas?
Well, I concur with you on Tennessee going to the Final Four. I picked that.
You got that one in the.
For the sake of my bracket, I hope North Carolina wins, but who cares?
When I look at those two matchups, it's like one of them. It's like you've got to hope. I think Tennessee's a very good shooting team. I don't think they're a great shooting team. I think you have to hope Creighton's off a little bit, or guard them and make them be off, and then hope connecting. And you're not having one of those off Tennessee shooting nights. Because, man, Creighton, they'll just sit there and throw it around the perimeter and just jack it up. All of a sudden, one of those little guys gets you can't give those little dudes any space. They will destroy you.
They're so well coached. And
yes,
again,
I mean, good Lord.
McDermott's outstanding. They should have been in the Final Four last year. They got hosed on a call late against San Diego State. And that was the difference.
And they're due, and but we'll see what happens. Tennessee certainly has better athletes, and they could win, but a lot has to go their way. With Alabama, I don't know if Alabama's even owned from the field. That if they don't play defense, there's no way they're beating North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina's they've done the same system for 50 years, and it's proven, and they're going to get up and down the court, and they're going to be athletic and shoot and run secondary breaks on you. And if you don't guard them, you score 90, they'll score 100. So I think it's I think Alabama's in a precarious situation if they don't decide to play. They don't play defense, which on a lot of games this year they have not.
Yeah, I don't even think it's Nate Oates' best team, but he hadn't been to the Elite Eight yet, so maybe this is the chance that they go. I mean, you think about it, Tennessee and Alabama have had some really good teams, really good players, really good years. Neither one has ever been to a Final Four.
Yeah.
Neither one. So
we talked about it with Wimp Sanderson today. We talked about it today. The fact that the SEC probably historically, after Kentucky, going back to like the 50s when the league formed, Tennessee and Alabama are probably the second and third best programs in the league. If you give them a history.
That's right. Oh, no question.
But yet Auburn, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi State, and Florida all have been the Final Fours.
Well, the last two Final Four teams from the SEC are Auburn and South Carolina.
Yeah.
That is just that's a weird look. Speaking of a weird look, did you catch any of the Mitch Barnhart, John Calipari kind of sit-down meeting of the minds? It was broadcasted on live TV. It was really awkward, honestly, because there's been discussion that those two don't get along. There's been discussion that Kentucky boosters are trying to pony up $33 million to move on from Cal. There's been discussion that the fan base is just tired of this. Well, he's coming back, and it was kind of a kumbaya situation. It'd be like if Mike McGee and Eddie Fogler did that toward the end of the Fogler era and said, you know what, we actually do like each other, and Eddie's coming back, damn it. Well, I'm all in on this. It would be a little bit awkward. All right, finally, we always talk about baseball polls, and D1 baseball has kind of become the poll of record. But it might be time to start thinking a little bit about RPI, because RPI does play a factor, just like it does in basketball with the net, in college baseball. So RPI number one right now, Jamie, I don't know if you took a gander at this.
Well, it is. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of WarrenNolan.com. So
it's basically the RPI, but you can get it on D1Baseball.com as well. But yeah. Warren Nolan kind of cracked the RPI code, if you will.
Yeah.
So he's got Clemson 1 with a strength of schedule of 3, Florida State 2, Arkansas 3, Oregon State, North Carolina, UCF, and at number 7, South Carolina. So the RPI is South Carolina's friend. Unlike the net in basketball, this is a metric you can all embrace. JC, I want you to wrap your arms and give a big hug to the RPI in college baseball. South Carolina is 7th at 20-5 overall, a strength of schedule of 30th. They actually went up 18 spots in the RPI after sweeping the Vanderbilt Commodores. Georgia is 8 in RPI. A&M is 9. Tennessee 12. Ole Miss 13. Kentucky 14. Florida 17. In terms of SEC teams in the RPI. And that is your Love Chevy drive around the SEC. Maestro, take it away.
Brought to you by Love Chevy, where the inventory is overflowing and the deals are in full bloom. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.